Hello and welcome. Good evening. It's Thursday. It's an evening with everyone. What's playing? I've got a music ad playing, so you might not be able to hear me yet anyway because I thought I turned off the sound, but obviously I turned it back on again. Hello and welcome. I'm Chris. This is Gross Models, and this is an evening with everyone. It's the special end of the month edition. Where everybody is welcome to come and join me, because at the moment I'm all on my lonesome. There's just no, I don't know which side it is. It's that side. Well, you won't have any pictures down there because there's nobody else. It's just me. Spid says he might be able to make it in, but it's just warm everywhere for everyone. So I completely understand that people don't want to be sitting in a warm studio or room or shed or wherever, or warm anywhere in the UK for hour and a half sitting talking to a camera, but I thought I'd still be here. So if nobody comes and joins me, then I'll be here for a little while. If people join me, then we'll stay as long as the normal 90 minutes. I've set the link to go live on my Facebook page at 5 past. I shall copy it and put it into the live chat here. See, Pascal was here, but then he went away again because he has to be here first. He has to get the first word in, but then he had to go away again. So he said he'd be back on Sunday, but he'll probably be back, later to say he's here on Sunday because he's here first. But there we go. Swiggy Pig and Shane Youngs are both in. They're sitting in there in the chat. You're both welcome to come and join me now. You've got the link already. So if you want to come and join me on camera, then feel free. If you don't, also feel free. The link will go live to the public. They get early access because they're patrons. So special early access. They're able to join any of the streams. Well, any of the evening with streams, even the ones that aren't open to the public. So special links for early access patrons. Anyone, say in about 2.5 or 3 minutes, the link will go live. Once I know it's live on there, I'll put it in here. Come and say hello. Come and join me. Keep me company, because if it's just me, then it's going to be moderately boring. Spid's still in the chat over there, talking in the Gross group chat. What's been happening this week? With me, not a lot. It's been very warm. The last couple of days have been very, very warm in the UK. I think today actually made it to be the hottest day on record ever. So apologies for being a bit shiny and a bit shorn. I've cut my hair down, so so there's less of it, to try and get a bit of a breeze going. There is also a fan going in the background over there. So again, apologies if you can hear that. Open window, might be some cars and neighbours and dogs and loud noises and things. So, but yeah, I'm not going to shut myself off from the world today because it's too warm. It's very warm. Everyone's been saying it's been a bit warm today, isn't it? I have done a bit of Sazabi. Look, there he is. He's got arms now. He's got arms and a head. He's getting there. Also, you can see there the Terminator head. I've been progressing on that. Videos for that upcoming. I think one went live yesterday, and there's another one to go live tomorrow. And then there'll be another one sorted out. Shane says, I still haven't got this webcam thing sorted. Not a problem. I mean, if you need any help with it, give me a shout at some point. I'm around most evenings, but obviously I'm doing streamy things some evenings as well. The Google Hangouts on air is apparently disappearing before the next show next week. There are a couple of alternatives which during the week I hope to be able to figure out and work out what's going to work and what's going to work best for me. So the shows will continue, whether it's just me or if I'm able to still open it up to other people. We'll see how it goes. My wife is saying it's not just warm, it's flaming boiling, apparently. But there we go. Jamie's in, saying hi, everyone. It's 4 minutes past, so in about 45 seconds, the link will go live. And then I expect 20 people to try and join. I expect 1 or 2 of you might come along. You never know. So I've been doing a bit of that. The videos for the Terminator, as I say, I don't bring them all out at once because it's a bit too much for everybody. But every couple of days, there's one coming out. So there's 2 more to come out. One of which is due to go live tomorrow morning, I think. Actually, I'll put it to go live tomorrow morning, which is Friday. Then the other one I haven't actually got uploaded yet, but when I do, I'll be uploading that later or tomorrow. So that should be going live at the weekend as well. Then there will be a short upgrade and modifications video for it. There's not much to modify and upgrade. I haven't done the X-Wing one yet. Again, there's not much to do on that one. I've been playing around with some light blocking of some of the laser X-foil thing. Haven't had much success with it, so I'm still sort of playing around in the back of my mind as to what I'm doing with that. The Sazabi's been taking up most of my bench time at the moment because I just want to get it all together and done and sorted. I've been really enjoying it, but yeah, still got some stickers and decals to do on that, as well as all the weapons, the shield and the backpack is still to come. So let's get in there. Tom's there saying hi all. Shane says, I'm on the coast and it's hot, but you guys must be roasting. Our daughter lives in Acton, so she's baking as well. Acton's just down the road. Yeah, I know Acton. Not that well, but I'm aware of Acton. I've been through Acton. Into Acton. Cynical Max Steve says, evening people. Evening. Of course, at some point in the near future on this very show, program, stream, whatever you want to call it, I will be doing looking at the gross group, any pictures and things that you've uploaded in the past week. There are a few. So that will kill another 5 minutes. Stuart Rose says, on the swing, I used some shirk tubing. You need 3 pieces. I think took an X-wing. Shirk tubing. I don't know what shirk tubing is, but yeah. Sorry, the swing. I think that's X-wing as well. Autocorrect doesn't help you when you put in names that don't exist in the dictionary. What's a shirk tubing? I'm not aware of that. 3 pieces. Shrink tubing? Yep, that's what I was guessing at. 3 pieces of shrink tubing. Oh, right, around... Yeah, that might be an idea. I did try painting it. I got a spare bit from the test run. I tried painting the outside of the tube, thinking that if you light one end, it comes out the other end. You don't want it to come out the rest of it. But it didn't. It killed it. It meant it didn't transmit light all the way through it again. It made it not work. So I thought, oh, that's not right. So I don't know how that works. It must reflect off of something on something I did on the outside of the tube, stopped it from bouncing and refracting, and I don't know. Shrink heat tubing, like for electronics. Yeah, thank you. It works well. Okay, I'll look into that. Thank you very much. Right, it seems that everything should be live. Nobody's actually joined as yet. I shall put the link to join in the chat here now, just like that. So if you're on a computer and you click that link, it should let you sign in using your YouTube account and Google account, and then you can join in and be down here, a little person in the little picture, and talk to me using words. It's easier than typing. If not, I say I'll be here for a little while, but that's gone live there. It's on live on my Facebook page as well. So if you can't, for whatever reason, see the chat, if you are watching it somewhere and you can't see the chat, then find somewhere. Tom wants to see who's brave today. It's not that brave. It's just talking to a little plastic camera thing. It's not like anybody's watching. If you are watching and you're not able to get access to the live chat, the live chat is where it's at. That's what you want to do, because otherwise it's just me waffling to myself. There's people in the chat that know what they're talking about, so you do want to pay attention to what some of them are saying. Make sure you're watching through the actual YouTube app. Click on the YouTube icon, which should be somewhere around. Make sure you're at the source of the YouTube-ness, and it should be there by the side of you. If you're not coming in live, then that's fine. But put something in chat, say hello, give me something to talk about. Otherwise, it's just me, and nobody needs that. TK's in for a bit to say hi to everyone. Hi, TK. Who's anyway? Who's what? Want to see who's brave today? Yeah. Too hot at the moment. Yes, it is a bit warm, TK. Yeah, I'll give you that. Although it's an hour later for you, isn't it? So it should be cooling down a bit more than it is here. I know geography and time doesn't work quite that way. We have a Tom. I just saw a little thing pop up and it said someone joined me. You want to see who's brave today? And it's you.
Oh, I knew I was. I just wanted to see if anybody else jumped it.
It never know. It sometimes happens. It sometimes doesn't. It's, yeah. There's 21 people watching. So, in theory, somebody's going to join.
We can just make a fools of ourselves.
Oh,
while we
absolutely.
wait.
Well, it saves me doing it, making fun of myself every 2 weeks. So more than happy for everybody else to come in. TK says it's 38 degrees there apparently at the moment. I have no idea. I have no thermometer here to measure the temperature, but it's warm. It's got even warmer because I put some lights on, but it's quite warm. How warm is it for you, Tom?
Actually, the heat wave here in North Carolina, right on the East Coast, just broke yesterday with a thunderstorm. So it's probably in the 90s, low 90s. I'm trying to figure out
what's that. I don't know what that is.
I know I don't know what 38 degrees is either. So
hey, let's see. Alexa, what's 90 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius?
90 degrees Fahrenheit is 32.2 degrees Celsius.
32.2. There you go. 90 degrees. So, yeah, 38 is hotter than that.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is after the heat wave. It's great outside now. I mean, last week, it was, hot. Like, I can't say it because I know your show is, but I posted it on there. It's like, no, it's hot here. Like,
yeah, but you're more used to the heat there, aren't you? I mean, we very rarely get hot.
No. Where I'm at, I'm in North Carolina, which is right in the middle, and it's usually really temperate here. Like it's 6 months out of the year, it's perfect weather. And then for 3 months, it gets cold. And then 3 months, it gets hot. But then it's not like stupid hot like South Florida gets. South Florida gets like tropical heat. Not that hot. But we do get the occasional like, okay, for 1 week a year, it's going to get really cold. Where it's like nobody wants to go outside. School shut down. It's just stupid cold. And the same goes with summer. We get that 1 week like this last week where for, let me see, about 8 days, it was 105, 106 index. So
yeah, but I mean, you're saying that it's 90 at the moment, and to you that's not hot, or is that hot but not
no, it's
silly
hot?
Or
is
that what you mean by normal hot though? Or
yeah, that's normal hot. Like
yeah, that's really hot for us.
Well, you're way northern. So, and you're in a different hemisphere? No,
the same hemisphere.
But you're
northern.
Well, yeah, north. I have to look at
it depends how you cut the hemisphere. If you cut the hemisphere that way, we're the same. But if you cut it that way, then we're different.
Yeah.
But
so
that's how that works.
What is that? Isn't that a hemisphere? No.
Normally the hemisphere is northern and southern. That's how it's normally described. But technically, you can cut a hemisphere in half in any angle.
Like a quarter.
But I mean, do houses around you have air conditioning as standard or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, most definitely. Yeah. But no, it's air conditioning.
That's not a thing that we have.
Yeah, but you guys use more high-test heat supplies, don't you? For like when you're trying to heat your house?
Everyone's got like central heating.
Well, no, that's not what I mean, though. Central heating is air. Central air here is heating and air conditioner in one unit.
No, we don't get that.
So you do you use furnaces or boilers or
normally not furnaces. We don't have the room for furnaces and things. We have radiators that just sit against the wall that hot water's pumped into, that they warm up and they keep your house warm.
But what heats the water is my question.
It's normally a gas or electric boiler.
Okay, so you use boilers. Here we have more what's called like heat pumps. So basically, heating and cooling goes through the same unit, and mine's electric. So it doesn't have to work like I said, 6 months out of the year, it doesn't have to work that hard to make it cool. And now we also have good insulation, though. I mean, I stay in a newer home, so I've got pretty modern insulation, so I can keep heat and cool and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the walls are insulated and they pumped foam thing into them to help the insulation, but it still gets not as cold as it did, several years ago, but it still gets cold in the winter and hot in the summer. But very rarely we get this stupidly hot week or fortnight, but that's it. Yeah. The rest of the year, it's all right. We have an Alex as well. He's joined, but he's messing around with his camera. and he's muted.
Yeah.
And he can't hear us because he hasn't got his headphones on at the moment around his neck. That's not where they fit. But I'm sure at some point he'll join us and actually.
Yeah, he's hiding he's hiding at work, I guess.
I assume so. Yeah. I mean, it's what time is it for you there, Tom?
Here it is a little after 3, quarter past.
In the afternoon.
Yes, in the afternoon.
Okay.
So
you haven't got
it's
up
hot.
silly early, but yeah.
But it's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean here obviously it's I say 8:15, so evening time. It's going to start getting dark out that window just about there. The only bit of window you can see now.
Okay. Yeah, look, he might be able to hear us now.
Can he hear us? Is he? He's not muted anymore. So
what's up, you guys?
There he is.
We've been watching you move your camera around, Alex.
Yeah,
hello.
I was trying to get it set up. Howdy. Good to see you.
Good. Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm good. Just
is it warm?
Working away. Yeah, it's warm. It's not as warm as it has been, but I think it's low 90s.
Yeah, we were just talking about that's 32.2.
that looks smart to all those just tuning in.
I just calculated that on the fly, but yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it's been pretty cool, but it was up in the hundreds for a while. It was real warm last week. So.
Yeah, no, 32 for us is hot. 25 is hot. So that would be like 70 or I don't know. Numbers.
So what part of the country are you in, Alex? Or the
Missouri.
United States, I'm assuming. Missouri?
Yeah, Missouri.
Okay, so you guys got the heat wave too. It just did.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
That's what I was trying to explain to Chris. It's like, no. It was hot, but then this is stupid hot. This is just freakishly hot.
I'm pretty sure what you lot call not hot, I'd call stupid hot.
Probably.
Yeah, low. Their 80s is nice. So
I don't know what 80s is. I haven't worked that one out.
But that never happened.
Spid. What's 80s? What's that?
Uh-oh.
Spid's here now, but he might not be able to do maths. Can you tell me what 80 degrees in Fahrenheit is?
80s what?
I don't know. What's 80 degrees?
80s Fahrenheit. I don't know. What was 90 odd was 30, wasn't it? Can you hear me?
90, yeah, we can hear you. 90 was 32.2. Oh, there we go. We've got people in chat answering. They're saying 26.6. So yeah, that's still hot.
It's always hot.
20 is comfortable. Anything more than that is just too hot. But I don't know what that is in yours.
I've just been following Fox online, and he's just working. Does he work in his garden?
He sort of.
We're a great nation and known as British.
He might not be allowed in the garden anymore because it's dangerous for him. It breaks things.
The toes?
Yeah, he broke a couple of toes by doing gardening. I don't know, fell off it.
Broke his
farm.
How do you do that?
It's Fox. If he's not stabbing himself, he's falling off things. So I can't say I'm shocked. Swigging Pig says it reached 35 degrees C today, but down to 31 now. So yeah, that's still hot. Jamie says it's 28.3 degrees in his room. I apologise to you Americans that use funny Fahrenheit things, but I don't know what that means. So. Normal people are putting it in Celsius and centigrade, which is what I'm happy with. Oh, that's Spiddy Q8 there. He says, here in the Highlands, it's high 20s. We suspect it's due to the woken fire-breathing dragons of North Skype,
Centigrades are normal,
who've been angered by the new parking charges of the old men of the store tourist site. I don't know what most of that means. Skype's that tight talking thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
37 degrees at work in sunny Manchester.
Yeah, that was supposed to say sky. It was autocorrect.
Yeah, it looks like the heat wave got to you guys or wherever he is, because that's warmer than it is here right now.
Yeah, I think today, was the highest temperature recorded in the UK since records began. I don't know when that was, but it was a while back.
Yeah. We had the hottest June on record.
Yeah, but your records don't go back very far, do they? American history is only like a fortnight, isn't it?
Well, they've only been keeping records for 100 years or so.
Exactly. That's, yeah.
Wait, do we have Spoon Guy on right now? Is Spoon Guy on right now?
Who's Spoon Guy?
Spoon Guy. The guy that posts pictures of spoons.
Well, there's several of us.
Yeah, lots of people put pictures of
Is it-
spoons.
Tom Riffles.
Rick Lefts, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, what's up?
It's like you're famous. You're the spoon guy.
Hey.
To me, he's the spoon guy.
Hey, okay, that's cool. I can live with that. I mean, I'm still working on them too.
I love it.
Oh yeah, I got my green one though. Hey, but the spoons are great. If you want to practice without ruining, I've always been apprehensive about grabbing a kit and okay, I'm going to try out 4 new techniques I've never done before on this $20 model. I
Makes
can't
sense.
bring myself to do it when I can get 600 of these for like $6.
I love it. You test all the colors out for me, and I just,
Just copy you. Yeah, that's why the Model Maker Spoon Hut was born, just so we can copy off
It is,
people.
yeah, that's why the concept was. Where did that was that during an E-model stream or?
I don't know. It was you and Paul, wasn't it?
It was me and Paul talking about it, and then Paul said, "Right, this is happening." He disappeared for a bit, and then he reappeared with a link to the Model Maker Spoon Hut, and there it was.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't the Model Maker Spoon Hut. I came up with a name.
Oh, right, yes.
It was something else. I can't remember. It was just for spoon.
It was something to do with
Something, but-
spoons, though, wasn't it? Yeah.
It just seemed to fit very well being the Model Maker Spoon Hut.
Yes. Yeah.
So it had to change.
No,
We did get Fox's blessing to change it though.
We did.
But along with the spoons, I mean, everybody uses spoons though.
Yep.
I thought to paint,
Yeah,
to play.
they're a great thing. They're a decent sized surface. They've got the curvature there. They're great for practicing on. They're brilliant.
We made out of much the same material, so it's
Exactly. I mean, and then you can get different. It's like I've done a lot of experimenting. I mean, let me turn the colors towards you, but I've been doing a lot of experimenting, and this is just with.
I do like the I like the red. Think about
like
it.
the
Let me click on you. I like the red. It's very shiny. I can see the reflections and stuff. It's lovely.
Yeah, now all of these are shiny. I just
Yeah,
wish
but that's just got that something.
okay. This spoon
Very
in
metallic,
particular,
shiny, isn't it?
it started as Molotov.
Mhm.
So that was what is under this spoon. This is a Tamiya clear red,
Oh right, okay.
but it's over this really beautiful.
I've not used the
Cool.
Molotov ones, but I do quite like the look of them.
Yeah, and but
It's-
this,
It's amazingly shiny, but it does seem to be a bit fragile. You have to be very careful.
oh no. The Molotov is a
Yeah.
beast. Me and Ben Kiramuchi are playing with it. Like
Right, okay.
after, I mean, because it is a ridiculous. Now he introduced me to the Alclad, but I can't get chrome anywhere. Like the Alclad 2 lacquer chrome.
The Alclad's great, but the Molotov is great because you can just throw it straight on. You don't need the gloss black base,
yeah.
do you?
No, well, it does look a little deeper, but it's only if you're like looking at it and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, I can kind of tell a difference in color. But this one is, I believe, over the Molotov. But it's the underlying tone that sets off the clear to make it look that good. And it's like, I wish my spoons were over here now. Because
do you spray those like with a
You're allowed
gun?
to leave your bench to
Never.
fetch them, We
Yes,
do allow
this-
that. We can play some chamber music while you run and get them.
well, it's not like I got to run to the other side of the house. I just got to grab.
Chrono Man says it's a bit a
That's it,
billion
keep
degrees
holding
here, but he's got a sexy Gross Models t-shirt. Well done. Yeah, they make you cooler. Even if you're hot, you're still cool.
Okay. And I also-
Cynical Manx Steve says with this heat wave, you need to do Gross Model vests. You could just buy a t-shirt and cut the arms off. It's always.
Ooh, gross model tank.
Chrono Man tried to do the spoon thing, but got all confused and painted himself. Yeah, it's always painting yourself's fine, but it's never as shiny.
Okay.
Right, back with Tom Spoons.
Okay. See, and I don't know how well this is showing up because of where my lighting is, but do they look different?
The one on the left looks lighter. Probably you're right. I don't know how the camera's not flipped, is it?
Yeah,
So-
the left one does look a bit paler.
Looks
but
lighter, paler, not quite so shiny. There's a deeper shine to the one in the middle.
It could just be the way the light's playing on them. Yeah.
So I had to look at the spoon. Well, actually, it's the different qualities of the metal undercoat. Because see this nice, the one that has a nice deep, kind of smooth, right here. This one has a nice smooth undertone to the green.
All right, yeah.
Let me read this. This is the aluminum over. Now this is Alclad's gloss black base.
Mhm.
Just that's it. I didn't
Yeah.
polish it or anything.
That is very shiny.
Yeah.
I've not used the Alclad stuff, but I use the UMP or the Badger or the Styrene is.
That's interesting
Gloss
because
black.
I've heard a few grumbles about the Alclad black base. Never about the metallic because I love the metallics. But I've only ever used gloss black enamels as a base, which work really well because they tend to lay down wet and stay very, very shiny. The downside, of course, is the longer drying time.
Yeah, this is now I do leave all my stuff overnight because now mind you, I'm a noob. So I'm still these spoons are like the last set of another dozen that are in the trash can. That they were I found out what happens if you lay on Tamiya clear color too thick. I found out it doesn't spider like a normal paint would, because a normal paint you just kind of see it spreading out. Well, with the Tamiya clears, just the color veins, it looks like the spoon is getting varicose veins.
It's getting windy here. It's knocking things off my shelf.
Is that the spray can lacquer clear?
No, this is just the Tamiya acrylic
Just the
bottle
acrylic,
paint.
right?
All right, TK's got to go. So thanks for popping in, TK. See you another time. Look after the baby.
CTK.
And this, but they're dusty because it's been a couple days. Now their differences in colors here. Yeah, and I just sprayed it with an airbrush at about 18 psi and thinned it, skim milk, pretty thin. And now this is the greens are about 4 or 5 coats of the green to get it that color. Because as I got my red spoons now, and you can really tell the color differences.
Well, hang on. Can I stop you right there for 1 second? And can we go to Alex and ask him to show us that mug because that looked amazing?
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's fine.
It's his unicorn mug.
Look at that.
You must have seen that before. We've seen his unicorn mug before.
I've not seen that before. That is amazing. That is fantastic. Sorry, Tom. Carry on now.
My work mug.
Okay. And I don't know. I'm trying to hold it back far enough so my lamp hits it without making me look like a snowman. Okay. Now let's let the light adjust. Now, can you see where some of them look orange? Or that one spoon looks really orange?
They all look about the
Yeah,
same.
the one at the
to me.
end does very
The one at
much.
the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, this one right here is pretty orange in real life. My light's set up not for this. I didn't know there'd be an interest in my spoons. And I write on the back of them what it is.
Yep.
Because as soon as I put it down, I forget. But like this one right here is the Stynylrez and the black base and the gold, Tamiya gold.
All right. Yep.
Then I put the Tamiya clear red, but it's not as thick. This one probably only has 3 coats of the Tamiya red. Whereas one of these other ones, like this one, well, this one's magnesium. This is Vallejo metal color, just the acrylic.
Mhm.
And then I went over that with the Tamiya. And it's pretty dark because I was trying to find Sasabi colors, right? And it's got the HG has my 2-tone kind of reds.
Yep.
Like one's a little darker than the other one. Well, I got to find what color to do. But it's all going to be the red comes from Tamiya clear red, and that's it. So I'm changing the color or the tone of it with the undercoat. And
Yeah, when I started painting and airbrushing and things, I didn't realise how much difference the primer would make. I just assumed primer was just so you can get the paint on the plastic and didn't worry about it. Use whatever from you got laying around, grey or white, whatever. But after trying a few tests on spoons and things, it really does. It changes. Most paint isn't that opaque. You can't. You can see through it a lot more than I ever expected you could.
It's very much a scale thing in the sense when I sprayed full size, the paints that you're spraying in a full size spray gun are much more opaque. They lay down much thicker, so your primer is just seen as a base, as a surface.
I've got some spoons
you paint onto, and when you spray 2 or 3 coats with a full size spray gun, it goes down much thicker and the primer doesn't make much difference. But because model paint pigments, I think, are made much finer and you're spraying much thinner coats, so you're not obscuring detail, it really does make a difference.
Yeah, well, those two.
When I did a motorbike, a Honda NR some time ago in red with a grey primer, and then when I built the Panigale, I did that with a yellow primer, and the same, and the red, and the difference was
it just changed it.
Really popped.
Yeah, those two spoons at C1 when I was playing with a C1 for the first time, both polished to the same degree, but this was the UMP gloss black, and that was the matte black. So it makes such a difference. You can't get the same shine on it because it was a matte paint underneath. But I thought you should be able to because you're just polishing it. But yeah, I was saying that the Mecha Color paints that I quite like, the ones I'm using for the Sazabi, they're such a dense pigment that it makes no difference what primer you use. Somewhere I had some spoons that I can't find now. That I had spoons done in different primers and different coloured greens put on when I was doing the Sazabi. And you can literally see the primer just in the middle one, a dark green and a light green. And if you put the 2 or 3 spoons next to each other with like a white, black and a grey primer, you can't tell which one's which without looking at the primer. They all look exactly the same, even with one relatively light coat of the Mecha Color paint.
Now, is that freakish in your experience with paints? Because I think I've run into like a green that'll do that. Like if the Vallejo greens will do it.
It just seems to be a thing for the Mecha Color paints. They're designed to be a hard-wearing, not thick paint. They still airbrush fine, but the pigment is just very dense. So it's a good thing in that it gives you a lot of coverage for little paint, but it's a bad thing in that it doesn't let you do things that you can normally do, as you say, with different colour bases and primers and things over the top. But yeah, where's the dog? Who's a good boy? Girl, I can't remember. Who's a good dog?
My oldest daughter was bumping around downstairs, probably running, and she heard a thump and bump in the night. And now she's like, "Daddy, somebody's here."
Phil Lewis does say that he painted some metal spoons in plastic colour, and the missus was furious.
I want to paint one of these. I want to use one of these and do the Molotov Chrome and put it in the drawer because I know my wife's going to go down, get her a bowl of cereal, and I want to put
I'm not sure how poisonous it is.
Oh, well, she wouldn't eat it. I just want to see the look on her face when she picks up the spoon and it's, the weight difference.
Notice though, she might just eat it and, it wouldn't be good. So yeah, you'd have to keep an eye on that.
We got metal heavy spoon. There's a difference in weight when you pick it up. It's gonna like you pick up a light box thinking it's heavy. She's gonna pick up the spoon and.
Yeah, but it depends how awake you are at the time. You might not be bothered. I went to the Warhammer shop today. After I finished work, I went to the Warhammer shop. I had a list from my Warhamster Sunday. I was given a shopping list from the people that were watching of 10 different paints that I wanted to go and get. So I had a list of 10 different paints in the app. I went into the Warhamster shop and basically I just gave him my phone and said, I want them. And Lee, the manager in there who knows us, he was like, okay, yeah. He just grabbed them off the shelf far quicker than I could have done the same thing. So I've got 10 paints, and I did pick up one other thing that I got some tufts as well.
Okay.
Wait, you went in to get 10 and you just came out with 10? You didn't come out with like 30? Like
No,
you
10, I went in with a
happen to
list of
me?
10 paints to get. I came out with a list with 10 paints and some tufts. I did intend to get the tufts as well, but they don't fit on the app. These are really scary. They're
How do you use the tufts? I've never done that before.
I haven't either. This is my first
This is cool,
experience.
Are they the same as the ones that Fox used in his knackered old tranny?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah,
they're
they actually
They're
look pretty
all
good.
the same.
Do you just glue them
I've
on?
got
Yeah, these are actually sort of self-adhesive.
Oh, really?
They're actually stuck to a plastic
yeah,
sheet.
there's arm painter.
Various different sizes, from tiny ones to fairly big ones.
What
And
brand
apparently,
are
you just
those?
sort of peel them off and stick them on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the same ones that Fox used. If you look at I think it would be the last one in his knackered old tranny.
Where he did the diorama.
He made he used a base like
They're
a
just
pre-made
lovely. I
base with some
can't
grass tufts on.
I can't stop feeling them.
Are those like Citadel brand ones? Or are
They
those
are,
like a
yes.
different brand?
They're the only ones
Okay.
Citadel do now, apparently. They used to do a few. These
Well,
are
This is the arm painter.
So would you put those?
tufts.
Like
Would
the
you put
army
those
painter.
on after you would do the terrain, or do you put those on prior to the terrain and go around them?
No, after.
They're sort of one of the last things to go on. Yeah.
After.
Yeah,
okay.
'cause, yeah, I've used them on like a couple of things. All you can because they're all they are is static grass that have been laid down on PVA, and then they attach them to that backing, or that's what they're glued to. And when you pull them off, it's like wax paper almost. If you notice, Chris.
I'm going to use one. I have my war hamster, which I just did in some sort of earth. I'm going to stick a tuft to his base.
I mean, they'll work with super glue too. I mean, I've used PVA and super glue, but I used PVA for the diorama me and my daughter were making, and I just used super glue to attach it.
I'm going to try and not use anything. I'm going to use the stickiness
I would
of the
think.
tuft.
I mean, I've not done any sort of basing and terrain with Warhammer stuff, but I would think if they're self-adhesive, they would have to go on the plastic base before you did the basing, the terrain. Because if
We'll
you
find
put
out.
something down that's going to be rough based,
That's my
swap
question.
well. You need to
Like
use
if you
PVA.
putty around them.
Oh no, they're flat. They're like I wish I could show you up
Works.
close.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not falling off. So as far as I'm concerned,
Well-
that's on. That's fine.
It's a miniature. If you mess with it, it'll come off. I mean, especially since as a game piece, most people glue them down because they're going to be handled.
Yeah, well, that one is.
Because that. But yeah, they're all together. You don't really have to do anything because that's why like Army Painter makes their tufts. I think I got 4 of them, 4 different tufts. They make them in different
You
colors.
need to complete that basing with some sawdust, Chris, because he's a war
Because he's a
hamster.
hamster. Yeah, not a bad idea. I'll take a picture of it. If I can get a decent picture of it.
Oh, you always tell me the answer is no.
I shall upload that to my group now, and then when I do the group pictures in a minute, you'll be able to see it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'll just sit here quietly for a minute and upload it.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
it's all right.
Should I upload a progress picture? I haven't done that in a long time.
You can put some pictures up by all means. I'll in a few minutes. I'll go through the group and
I don't know.
Have a look.
My Warhammers aren't done yet. I feel like they're not ready to show off.
well, it's entirely up to you. I don't mind work in progress, but if you want to,
well, all of my stuff's pretty awful, but I post pictures anyway. I don't think I've done it in your group yet.
I
But
like seeing your pictures.
just
my
use spoons. Right, let's have a look. We have Zesters in, saying evening all. Good evening, everyone. Such willpower, says Cynical Max Steve. I think that was about the Warhammer
Fine stuff.
shop.
Yeah.
Jono's in, saying good day. Good day, Jono. Sprueglue's in, as to say, everyone's saying evening to everybody. So yeah, I picked up my first contrast paint. I got that one. I can't remember what it is now. Guilliman Flesh. I was going to get the leather one, but for some reason I got that one instead. I don't know. I must have requested it because I put it in the app.
Is it specific need for your knob paint?
It was something for that. Yeah, they were telling me to get things. I've got a couple more shades. I've got Seraphine Sepia and Fuegian Orange, because I was told to get these things because they get the orange, the red, and the yellow mega knob to do.
Very good.
I had to get the Grey Knight Steel because that's just a lovely colour. It's like a metallic blue. It's beautiful. What else have I got? I have can't remember, Squig Orange.
That's such a great name, Squig.
Ustapti Bone. Rhinox Hide. I was told that was good for weathering things.
Yeah.
Another orange. Oh, Riser Rust, which isn't
Sounds like
really
you're
a rust
ready.
colour,
Sounds like you're ready for some Stormcast Eternals.
Is it? Xandri Dust and Typhus Corrosion. So yeah, I'm all kitted up for doing some rust and stuff on Sunday on the Warhamster stream.
Excellent.
So that'll be fun.
I do like a bit of rust and corrosion and weathering of that nature.
Yeah, well, the orcs have got to be knackered and rusty. I think that's the rules.
I love that word.
Metallic blue. It's not orange. No, it's not sprue blue. I can do things that are not orange. Look, there's red. Look. I know I'm wearing a bit of an orange shirt today as well, but that's purely coincidental. Right, let's have a look at what's in store. The other thing, what's in the gallery thing.
Do Tony Hart bit.
Let me find the gross group. Where is it? Someone's got it. There it is. Right, the gross group. I shall share my screen. Application of the gross group. There we go. So there we have. You should be seeing it now. Let me click on me so you can still talk while I'm here. Now, previously, I've gone through the photo gallery thing and just picked them out there. But I think if I share it from the actual page, it will be a bit easier. So we've got Roger putting in the Finnish Beetledozer Warhamster thingy. I don't know what it is, but it's some sort of beetle that's some sort of dozer. But it looks lovely. It looks it's all corroded and stuff because it's whatever the corrosion things are. Have we got a Warhammer expert in at the moment?
Very nice, very nice.
We've got people that know a little bit about Warhammer.
We're looking at this on my tablet over here, incidentally. Just
right.
slightly bigger
Yeah.
screen.
So I mean, it looks lovely and grotty and grimy and corroded and nasty, which is what it's meant to look like. I assume this is a big gun at the top there. It's some sort of
Mortar, maybe.
cannon thing. Yeah. Oh, I've gone full screen. I didn't want to do that. Oh dear. Broken it now. How do I get full screen? There you go. Just click on that. Then click on that. That will take me back to there. Right. Yeah, he put that up last Friday. So going back from there, we have what do we have? Steve Mundy put up some things he got on Amazon Prime Day, magnifying LED things, which he was going to get back to us and let us know how good they were. But I don't think he has yet. So if you're watching, Steve, tell us very good. I know it's too late now because it's not Prime Day anymore and we can't get them cheap.
Yeah, I've looked at those. I've nearly bought a pair like that.
I have
I've
them.
got one of the standard kind of Optivisor things.
Yeah, I've got the Optivisor thing, but these look quite good. But I was worried that they would be a bit sort of falling off.
No, they work pretty well, you guys.
They have lights which don't really use, but it's got a detachable head strap, which are a more secure fit, so that would be quite useful. Yeah, I would have picked one of them up if I'd have seen it.
They work really well.
Cool. I shall have to keep an eye out for those. Gemma says I don't have to buy things just because people recommend or tell you to. I don't have to, no. But some of these things, that's my wife, by the way. That's why she's telling me off for buying things. I needed the paints for doing the things. It was only the type and colours of paints that I needed that I got requests for. Jono says, how was the heat wave for you in the UK? It's still very hot. Thank you very much. And Steve's still amazed that he only bought what he went in for. Right. Dennis put up some pictures of the Zaku. This is LD. I don't know if he's in the chat. I haven't seen him today. But yeah, he's done the Zaku in the red to go with his Sazabi that he did really quickly.
Yeah, I've been watching this one progress. I like it.
Now, I did a Zaku, but it didn't have this thing on the shield. it had the shield, but it didn't have these rocket launchery things.
Well, they got like so many versions of
So I think this
Zaku.
is different. I don't know if it should have been red or if
It looks
was.
nice in that red colour, though, doesn't
It
it?
does. It goes well. I think this is the Sazabi red. I think this is the Sazabi red. This is probably a different red, but
The shoulder pad still reminds me of that turtle thing from Mario.
yes,
Is it Mario?
yeah, very much so. The left shoulder pauldron thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was very nice, Dennis. Who's next? We've got Jason. Jason's put up some albums, which I shall go through. I don't think there's 3 of them. There's only 2 that he's put things up. Might not be one of these or 2 of these might already have been built. But he's been doing the SD things, which are just fun. They're quick builds and easy and quick.
Oh, the tiny little ones, they're awesome. They're so cute.
There we have Steve, Cynical Mac Steve, has been making real guns out of Asda
Cosplay guns.
things, and yeah, not real guns, but make them look better. So from Nerfs and things, he sort of cobbles them together and makes different things out of different things. So yeah, it's very impressive. One coat of primer on that, and you wouldn't be able to tell that it was kit bashed and made out of nothing. Right. Yeah, that's the album. I'll go through the albums in a minute. There's the Sinanju that he's done, which I've got. I say that looks familiar because I've done exactly the same one. That's the one I've got sitting over the other side. We're talking about Terminator, and oh, there we go. Edward put up these the 120th MK44 Ammo Knights Machine Gun Krieger, which yeah, is just lovely. The weathering on it just looks
I
spot
do
on.
love the look of those kits. I'm going to have to do a Machine and Krieger at some point.
They're just, yeah, there's something about them that look like they could be real, you know.
Yeah.
20p coin for reference of the size, so they're pretty small. The camo on there looks impressive as well. So yeah, that was lovely. What have we got? That's another thing. That's that. Right. So I'll go now to the photo albums, which anyone can put up in the Gross group, but these are all from Jason, where he's put up. So the Sinanju. There's only 3 or 4 sprues in it. It's a very quick, easy build, but fun, and stickers which are horrible. But there you go.
The stickers are only good for like mono eyes.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, the stickers in these come with stickers for everything, even like this, the front chest piece, which is all raised detail. So there's no way you can put a sticker on that and make it look good.
Oh yeah,
You're not going to be able to get it to conform and bend round the outside there. So I'll be painting mine. I assume he's going to be painting his. I think he said he was. But yeah, the gun is just one piece on the sprue, so that's nice and quick and easy to do. Little poly caps and feet. The waist unit with the Zaku beads, and it just goes together like that. Got the shield and the gun, and the backpack with the wings. Yeah, so that was nice. But he's also put up one for. Why can't I go back to it quickly? Click the right button and go to the albums again. The Death Scythe Hell, which looks to be slightly more complicated.
in the way of.
It's still a simple SD kit, but
Yeah.
there's an extra sprue or 2 there, and more stickers. So yeah, different color separation on that. Again, it's still only going
The
to take.
side's a bit disappointing compared to the box art, isn't it? Oh no, wait! It's got,
No, it's quite substantial.
Box art made those stickers look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the side's quite big. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, it's like Batman. So I think I'll shut that down. Can I go back to? No, I can't go back to the photos without going back to that. Going to the photos, and then going to the albums again, and going to the last one, the Banshee.
You can always hit the back button.
Yeah, but then it'll take me back through the pictures that I've just gone through.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good point.
This one's got some clear bits in it. So again, it's a similar level of difficulty as the previous one, but with some clear bits. So if you want a quick weekend build, you can't go wrong with these SD kits, can you? You don't need to paint them. Although you can paint detail on them or repaint the entire thing if you like, but you don't have to. So, yeah, thanks for sharing them, Steve. Not Steve. This was
Jason.
It says it up there. Look, it's easy. Yeah, so I mean that you can have an army of these things for next to no money, and
They're only like $6 here. I don't know what $6 is in pounds, but they're not expensive. I mean,
it
they're
should be like £3.50 or something, but it's probably, by the time you've imported it, it's probably 20 quid.
Jeez.
I shall stop sharing. I shall get rid of the window, and I'll hear again. Hello. I'll stop sharing the as well. And everyone else can have some screen time. I'll just have a look at the chat because that's been going crazy while I've been in there. It's still hot for 9 p.m. says Zadster. Yeah, is it 9 p.m? It stands at 9. Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
He bought loads, but Gemma's here, so he can't show us. No, that was exactly what I bought. I've got the receipt somewhere. Look. Yeah. Can't go in on my own. I can. I'll go in on my own. It's fine. Gemma's telling Jono that tomorrow it's meant to be 23 to 25, which is what our max usually is. That's 10 degrees cooler than today. So, yeah, tomorrow's going to be more manageable.
All right, see, we're talking weather again. I got to go
weather
back.
again, yeah, briefly.
Hot day in the UK, isn't it? 24, 25 is your typical damage.
Had lots of lightning.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah. It's still warm, but not silly warm like this was.
Oh, well, I keep my house at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, hold on. I'll tell you what that is. Oh, let me tell you what that is. That is 22.2 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a little on the warm side.
That's actually quite hot for I mean, I like mine around about 17, 18 degrees. I mean, I do tend to prefer it a little bit cooler than some, I guess, but no, about 17 or 18 is comfortable for me in a t-shirt, you know?
Yeah, that's what it feels about right here.
62 degrees. Oh, no. Yeah, see, no, that's a jacket. 60 degrees is a light jacket and long pants. No, I don't even wear a shirt around.
T-shirt weather in Scotland.
Oh, no. No, thanks. I need it. Like I said, I'm coming from a temperate place where it's most of the year, it's around that 75 degree mark.
You should come over here on holiday in the winter. You'd love it.
Oh, no. Hey, man, I lived in Ohio, which is about 9 hours north of here. No, you can keep that. Hold on. I got to go back to my calculator so I can tell you what the temperature really is. Because it's like, Alex will understand. It's like, okay, I was a grown man before I encountered negative degree weather. Like, I'm in North Carolina, man. It doesn't hit. Hold on. 0 degrees.
Yeah, your negative degrees not really negative. Is that really negative?
Well, no.
I don't remember.
I was born in winter time, so I was probably just a few hours old when I first encountered minus degree weather.
Yeah, but they're talking about minus Fahrenheit.
Oh, well yeah,
okay. Yeah. Negative 23 degrees is the coldest I've ever seen, and that was when I was in my late 20s.
What's that in Celsius?
Yeah.
Negative 23 degrees Celsius.
Oh, negative 23
right.
Celsius.
Oh, wow, that's cold.
That's quite cold, yeah.
Well, that's Ohio every winter.
Kansas City.
Yeah, I used to work for the Iceland Frozen Food Company, and they've got big frozen food storage areas, big walk-in freezers. They keep them at minus 18, and they're a bit chilly when you're in there for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds dangerous to be in.
I worked in a supermarket for a while, and when you're stocking the chiller cabinets, You've got them on each side of the aisle, and you stood there with a fleece with gloves and all the rest of it, and stocking them up. And you've been there for 2 hours. The cold kind of seeps into your core, and it takes you about an hour and a half to warm back up again.
Yeah.
I don't like being cold. You guys can keep that. I mean, hot's okay. You know, I can take off, but you can't take off but so many clothes. But I'll do it. I'll be walking around here with nothing on but my shorts.
Yeah, I did. You know, that's especially when you work in that kind of environment, you tend to get a bit of a warning for, you know, walking around in your underwear.
Oh,
Yeah, they get crossed, especially when you're dealing with the public. I'm going to put the link in the chat again for people to join. Feel free. It is an evening with everyone tonight, so it's there. If you click on the link, come and join us. There's room.
Okay. One more thing to ask you guys over the pond. Do you have a little nasty critters called fire ants over there? Fire ants?
Not really.
Okay.
Not well, they do exist over here, but they're not very commonplace.
Okay. Well, they're all over around
when I was a kid going on holiday somewhere down south, and getting bitten by a load of them, which was thoroughly unpleasant.
Yeah, they don't bite you by one at a time. You get bit like 6, 7 at a time.
Oh yeah, I got a whole bunch of the damn things right up one of my legs. I just happened to be stood in an area where there were loads of them, and they just swarmed me. It was like the whole swarm Area 51.
Oh, it's unpleasant. I was doing my good deed for the day, and I was unloading big bags of mulch for my mom at her house. And she's got a fire ant problem where she's walking around with the killer like every time. Well, every week, you know, she's trying to take care of them. But
yeah,
I'm pulling my car around the house, right? Because I got an SUV, and I'm throwing out these, like, okay, here's where a bag of mulch goes, drive around. Here's another bag of mulch. Well, one of those stops. I must have put my back tire right on a fire ant mound.
wow.
And I got back in the car and moved like 3 feet and was like, what in the world is going on with my foot? And it was like, it won't stop. Oh, no. It's like one fire ant got in my flip-flop and tore my foot up. Now I'm getting bloody from scratching it and just.
Oh, man.
Fire ants are itty-bitty now. I mean, think about
an ant that's
like meters long. I mean, that's it. It's not like a giant Australian bug coming to get you.
They are always the same. Let's say you do get them here, but they're tiny things, but they just bloody swarm you. There's loads of them.
And they hurt.
Yeah.
Especially for being so teeny. I mean, literally.
Think how many of them you hurt when you parked your car on them.
I don't know. I think I got at least 2 or 3. I mean, no, I think I got one. I think one got my flip-flop. And it just tore me up.
There's a bunch of fire ants over there having a live stream right now saying, so this guy the other day just came and parked his SUV right on top of our mound.
We went out to have a word, and he just started slapping us, you know. All we said is, don't park there. We need access, you know. Can you just move over that way a little bit?
Oh, it's all right. Because then my mom went out there with the ant killer. And as I was walking away, I was like, vengeance is ours!
Oh, that brings up a good point. He said we had clouds of flying ants in the south a few days ago. Showed up on rainfall radar. Yeah, a couple of days ago. Every year-ish, you get one day when there's loads of these flying ants, and literally the air's thick of them. And a couple of days ago, last week it happened one day, and then a couple of days ago on Monday, I think it was, it just went crazy. It's like, oh, you walk out and you're stuck all over you. It's horrible.
They showed up on radar. That's crazy.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah,
that is a cloud of bugs.
Says our supermarket's freezer section was closed off today. All the food removed. Suspect the compressors had a fit in the weather.
Oh no.
Yeah, and Jerry says these local Sainsbury's had the fridges emptied as well.
Years ago, I used to work for a company doing car parking, and we had to wear the yellow high-vis vests, and they got some, I think they were horseflies or something. Somewhere down south it was, red hot weekend, and all of us with the yellow high-vis vests, they were just covered. We just got these sort of browny, black-coloured flies, obviously attracted to the colour. And we looked like we were just wearing fly vests. We couldn't see the yellow at all.
Right, we have
Well, I
another
tried
visitor.
to-
We have Quano Man himself has joined us. He's even branded.
Oh,
Hello.
You can't go wrong when you're wearing a jacket like that, a t-shirt like that.
Oh, I see. That's a very nice T-shirt you have on.
fantastic.
Lovely. It's even bigger than my branding. So yeah, welcome and hello. This is the first time I've actually seen you in person.
Yeah, I managed to get the camera sorted out this time. So I've been fiddling around with them and teaching them new tricks, and one of them's to get this ugly mug.
It's working. Welcome. Quano Man is one of my patrons. He gives me some money every month, so he's more than welcome to join any of the streams that I do. Not only the evening with everyone, but say, as he says, it's the first time he's managed to get his camera working properly. But welcome. What have you been building things? What have you been up to?
Yeah, I've been on the 144 Millennium Falcon.
That's a nice kit. That one, I like that one.
Nice.
But I've got it in 2 halves at the minute, and then got some electronic bits for it coming around next Wednesday.
Nice. I didn't bother putting any electronics in mine, but
Are they a sort of pre-made kit, or are you just wiring them? You're wiring it all up yourself? 'Cause it's like wizardry to me, electronics.
There's it's a little circuit board thing that has like a strip LED for it that comes with it for for rear thruster thing.
Yep.
Yeah?
For the engines, yeah.
And then there's a single LED that comes with it that's on a wire, so you can either have the boarding ramp or the cockpit that's lit up. But then as I looked at the circuit board, there's the connection points on the circuit board for you to be able to add extra wires.
all right. So you can add your own.
Yeah, so I figured because they've got 2 versions. One that's the one that I've got, that's the cheaper version, and then the other one that has loads of it's got like 1,000 blooming LEDs and wires and stuff, and that's a bit much for me. So I figured if I get the cheaper one, and then just once I've figured it out, because I'm going to have to drill some holes through bits.
So you can expand on that as well, obviously, if you've got extra ports to plug into and such, if you want to.
Yeah, so I've got the main circuit board that I think is actually an official, for this kit.
Yeah, I think they have some that are sort of designed specifically for it, and they put some things in the instructions about how to do the lighting kits in it as well, don't they? So
yeah, it looks sort of similar to the circuit board I've seen, but I'm not 100% sure. I bought it from the American version of Amazon, and then on eBay I've spotted there's LEDs that have the fiber optic cables attached, but nothing else in there that's like £1. So no major way of money that I can then use to add extra bits of lighting and build on it once I've got the main thing figured out and set up.
yeah, so start simple and progress to as far as you're happy doing. Yeah.
It sounds like fun. It's something I'd love to do, but it's honestly electronics and wiring and stuff like that. It baffles me. It really does. So.
I understand how it works and how it all does it, but I don't feel the need to do it because most of my kits just get done and then put aside. I don't have like a display cabinet to put them in. Have them lit up.
The idea of, especially with
like
cars
that,
and motorbikes, it'd be nice to have them with working lights. Just
how often would you turn them on?
Switches.
For myself, not very, but it's the kind of thing I would show off to people if somebody came around and said, "Look at this," and like you do.
And they say, "Yeah, okay, I didn't want to see it last time."
I see Jerry's joined us. Hi, Jerry.
Jerry's popped in, but doesn't seem to have a camera.
Well.
Have you got a voice, Jerry? No, I think Jerry had trouble joining last time. I thought we figured it out, but it might not be working. If you are here, we can't hear you, Jerry. So
we can't.
I wish I knew sign language. He couldn't hear us.
Sign language doesn't work if you can't see him, though.
Well, he might be able to see us, but not hear us.
Well, this is true, yeah. But he might be able to hear us, but we can't see or hear him, so that sort of makes the communication a bit one-sided.
Can we just going back to ants briefly for a second? Interesting fact. Did you know that ants can't actually contract diseases
At all, any of them,
at all? Do you know why?
because they're too small.
Because they're made of tiny little antibodies.
Okay, yep.
Oh,
Moving on.
Figure out the line. I was like, wait a minute, no, I know this.
Hang about. Where's the mute button? We have Skullfish in, evening Skullfish, and Osric 9000 is also here as well. Good evening, everyone. Jono says over here we get locust plague so bad that we have to put radiator protectors on our vehicles so the locusts don't block up the radiators. The plague can last for a week or more.
Wow.
Why does
Well,
not only how does anyone live in Australia, but why does anyone live in Australia? It's the whole country is just trying to kill you. Spruglu says we need Mr. Loth. He's the ant expert. He'd know, yeah. Vincent would know. Jerry's joined the call again. Has he really this time? Jerry?
I didn't see him leave. Okay.
He just sort of popped out and popped back in.
It sort of disappeared and reappeared, but I think...
no, we still can't hear you, Jerry. Sorry.
No, we're still not hearing anything, are we?
You did mute. I saw the little mute thing come up and then disappeared. So it's like it's trying to listen to you, but it's really not.
He might have another window open with like testing his camera or anything. That might do it too. If you've got another window open.
It can't use anything, or is it actually think it's broadcasting? Or click on the little settings.
Unfortunately, that won't help because I just use my smartphone. I don't have a computer in here.
Yeah, that's less trouble. Click the little cog.
If I had a computer in here,
little control cog to bring up the settings. Make sure you're using the right camera and microphone according to what you're actually using, not what it thinks you should be using. So that might be the problem. Assuming you're on, proper PC type thing. If you're on a phone, then make sure it's the right thing.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you if you're on a phone.
John O says you get used to carrying a cricket bat around with you all the time. Just for the wildlife. It's like I need to go outside. Let me just get my protective gear on in case there's something that eat my face.
No, what do you mean wildlife? You need it for the spiders down there.
Well, they're a form of wildlife. And I've seen videos of sitting on the outside of a door, and it's like the size of your head, and it's just sitting there. It's like, no, I'm not going out ever again. I just
one of those would be cool if you could raise it as a pet, though, wouldn't it?
And ride it to work.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'd be just like dogs, and they just be if they would, they'd already be that. Because I mean, you could sick a spider on somebody. That'd get them off your porch in a hurry.
Oh yeah.
Unless they've got a bigger spider that. That's
people walking around with
I've seen that. That's the end of the world. They don't need to do that anymore. No, we don't need more of them.
The next meltdown will bring this attack of the wave spiders.
No, do spiders mind the heat, or they like the heat? I mean, they live in Australia, it's hot, so.
I think, they don't like the cold because that's why you get them indoors in the winter, but I don't know about extreme heat.
What, like microwaving? That's probably bad for them.
Well, I know because I remember seeing a documentary on how they made the movie Arachnophobia, and they'll run away from like hair dryers. They would use hair dryers to make them
to
move in that creepy swarm,
Okay.
blow hair dryers, and they just run off.
Is that the heat or the air blowing? I suppose you could use leaf blowers. That'd do the same thing, wouldn't it? I
don't know that.
My wife has probably stopped watching now. She really doesn't like spiders.
I believe they're kind of covered in tiny little hairs, and I know if you blow a hairdryer or just air at a dog or cat or what have you, they kind of freak out because of the whiskers sensing the air.
That makes sense.
So if the spider does the same thing, then it's probably the airflow that's kind of making them go, oh, don't like that.
Yeah.
Right. Leaf blower it is then.
So what you need if you don't like spiders is a suit that's made entirely of fans blowing out away from you.
Yep.
I don't know. Last week with the heat, I needed one mounted around my neck anyway. At least they won't get on my face.
John O says the biggest spider he's encountered was last year. Getting firewood, a huntsman spider presented itself, and it was about 7 inches across the legs. That's
Wow.
like
Yeah,
that would quite happily sit on your face. No, you can
yeah,
keep them.
almost.
Yeah,
I've
alien
seen that,
face huggers.
yeah, face huggers,
That's
yeah.
why everyone's really freaked out by the face huggers.
That's just not pleasant. No, we don't need them. You can keep them.
Yeah. They're
I'm
not
pretty,
even over
pretty
here.
sure that there's nothing in Australia that's not trying to kill you. No,
Koala?
not think of a single thing.
Don't they have
koala
koalas?
bears seem fairly harmless.
They're
unless I
not.
suppose
They're really
they
vicious.
kind of drop out of the trees onto you, maybe.
They're drop bears. They're different.
Oh, right.
Koala bears are vicious. They're really nasty. Apparently. They look
So
lovely,
what's
but
the
they're
difference between
nasty.
a drop bear and a koala then?
The koalas just sit there and the drop bears fall down.
They're eating their eucalyptus.
Absolutely. Jerry's
Wait.
giving up. It's not working. He's in the chat. Sorry, Jerry. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I wouldn't worry too much. Say this is the last of the Google Hangouts evening with, because it's going away. At some point during the next week, I will be trying to figure out an alternative that will work. It might work differently, so it might not matter that you couldn't get on this. You might be able to get on that. But yeah, I did say that there was going to be an extra evening with everyone next month, because someone, I think it was Pascal, is always working this week, the last run of the month. So I think, was it I don't think I made a note of it, because that would be, being organised and stuff. So it wasn't then. I think I decided the 15th. Sounds like it likely. The 15th of August will be an extra special bonus evening with everyone. So it gives you a chance in a 2 3 weeks time, because 1 week's going to be the first, isn't it? So 3 weeks time, there'll be another evening with everyone, and then 2 weeks after that there'll be the normal regular one. So yeah, if you need help trying to get cameras and stuff set up, then by all means ask, but I might not be able to help, but I'll certainly try.
Provided you find an alternative to Google Hangouts.
Yeah, there's a couple of alternatives that are out there and possibilities. Some of them mean a lot more hassle and effort, and the computer having to overload itself trying to do different screens and different windows and streaming things. There is one more likely alternative that I'm hoping is going to work much the same, but the layout's a bit different. But I haven't had a chance to test it yet. I've tested it just myself, but I haven't had a chance to test it with other people. So during the week when it's not so hot, I'll be grabbing hold of Fox and getting him to give his opinion onto how he thinks it's going to work, because he sees things, he looks at it and thinks, oh, the quality of that's not where it should be, and I just look at it and think that's all right. But Fox is one to look at it and say, oh, that's not streaming in the quality it should, or the sound sounds a bit wonky, or
he always knows the frame rate and how many dropped frames and all of that.
yeah, he does stuff like that. So yeah. Jerry says, he's talking about things using connection. Shane tried to join and the computer said no. No, we'll figure it out. We'll get there, but I wouldn't worry too much now, because this is going. But the new version might be easier. It might be harder. I might not be able to get on it. So yeah, we'll worry about that down the line. Next week will be just me and the gang, as normal, assuming it works and assuming I can get some of the gang to come along. Spid will be here. Spid's always, always game for coming on and talking.
I will try.
If it's not boiling, Fox will be here, and if he's not working, then George will generally be here, and if Paul's awake, he might be here as well. But and Vincent will probably come in 2 minutes before we go off. And yeah. If at first you don't succeed, try violence, says Osric. Yeah, that's always a good one.
Okay.
Let's see what we got. Something's not right. Yeah, muck around with the settings. Have you tried turning it off and on again, says Fruglo? Yeah.
Classic IT answer.
Absolutely, yeah. It normally works, though. That's the scary thing. It works.
It does, yeah.
That just resets all the code where it gets hung up.
Well, it's like people, they need to turn themselves off every so often just to have a nap and wake up and you feel better.
Absolutely. I know quite a few people who could do it turning themselves off, just not back on, just off.
Just off, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not very nice. No, we're nicer than that. Right, so we're quarter past 9. So quarter of an hour left, basically, give or take. anything of any note you want to chat about, or bring up, or mention, or show off, or anyone for anything?
I have my spoons.
We've seen your spoons already, though.
I know. That's all I got.
That's all you've got. It's Tom the Spoon Man. That's his thing.
There we go.
Oh well, there we go. Let's see. I haven't got nobody chatting in the chat to say anything. Jono says, Chris, does any of your clockwork stuff involve the micro gears and sprockets? Anything that could be used for making models work? Not really. Yeah, I mean, it's all integral things, and yeah, not really so much. Alex has got something. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's a little bit
the ugly
scary.
doll, isn't it? I haven't seen it yet, but it looks like one of the
ugly doll.
Yeah.
What's it from?
The movie Ugly Dolls.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Got this.
Yeah, it's still in the theater here in the States.
Okay, we probably haven't got it yet. I haven't noticed.
Probably not.
That's terrifying, says Zadster. Yeah, you're not wrong there. Yeah.
There, you might have heard the Pink song, by the artist Pink. It's kind of like I don't know how it goes, but it's played on the top 10 hits or something like that.
I don't know that I've heard it, but I might have tuned it out. Jerry says to Spid that he thought he sent that package, but he found it in his car boot, so he'll send it out tomorrow. So apparently Spid's expecting a package and it hasn't been sent yet.
Yeah, so it's very exciting.
He's just replying to it. So
I like receiving packages.
Yeah, I'd like to receive a package as well.
You know, unless they're unpleasant things, in which case I wouldn't particularly.
And I'd hear tell that I might receive a package at some point.
You might, if I actually sort myself out and actually start getting some things packaged and go to the post office, because they're all sitting there at the moment. I need to throw together a little bit of something extra for Sergeant Bones if he's in the chat there, to throw into his package. But yes, you do indeed have a package coming your way for Paul.
Yay! I see Quero Man's actually got a split screen thing going on. He's got stuff, although the video quality seems to have gone down. So it's all blurry, but...
Yeah. Ooh, on the subject of the Star Wars vehicles...
I can see that an AT-AT and the Falcon, and a smaller Falcon.
Is there anything further and new on the X-Wing, Chris?
My X-Wing? Not as yet, no. I've put the videos are all up and out. I haven't done the upgrade and modifications video for the last lot yet because I'm still playing with how to make it work. There's some light issues with things. Someone did mention in the chat earlier, I apologize, I don't remember who it was, about using shrinking tape, heat shrink thing.
Heat shrink tubing.
I haven't got, but I shall have a play around with and try and figure out how to use it. Because it's one of the laser cannon things on the end of the wings. There's some light bleeding issues, but
okay.
There's the ATS or the AT-AT anyway. You
can see that now.
Giving it some extra blue bits, and up until getting this Falcon, I don't know if it's in focus or anything.
Not quite. You can see something, but I can't quite see what we're seeing. But
we can see the blue.
Pretty much the only decal I've done were that, the Empire logo.
Yep.
I tried to pick it out with blue bits to give it kind of a first kind of finish. I don't know how successful it were, but I'm kind of enjoying this, having one of these guys next to Falcon, because it's not until I got this Falcon that I realised that the head of that is bigger than the cockpit of the Falcon.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Seeing the scale of things is really quite astounding.
Oh, is that the same scale?
Yep.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Now
the same scale as that Zaku, the Sazabi as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is that the new? Is that the one from the new movie then?
What the Walker?
The attack. Is that the one from the new movie that?
No, that's the original one. It's not the gorilla one.
It's one from Empire. But then I've given it sort of blue bits so that it's got a bit of a 501st theme. From Clone Wars, were it? And
Yeah.
Anakin.
Ah, very good.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually a much bigger vehicle than you kind of expect it to be, isn't it? I mean, I know they carry troops and such, but
Yeah.
rich thing in the back, but yeah.
I keep having legs falling off it because I can't get them to stick into place properly. At first, I put the primer on there and couldn't get them, and then accidentally put primer over the connection point.
Yeah.
So then I couldn't get the legs on, so I got a file in there to try and bring it back off.
Your best bet is to find the pose that you want to use and glue them in place. Yeah. If you're not planning on having it articulated, then just glue it where you need it to be and don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's probably going to be in future of it.
With everything I've ever built that's snap fit, there's always joints that are too tight and joints that are way too loose, and you never seem to find a happy kind of compromise over the whole kit.
So with most of the other ones that I've got that are plastic, and articulated, if the joint's too loose, I've got some clear nail polish that I just whack into the joint. Once it's dried up, that'll seize the joint up so that it's, kind of like when you first get, if you've got the perfect grade or the real grade, and you've got parts that are built on screw, and you got to sort of snap the seal thingy so that they'll start bending. It's a similar kind of effect, although I get funny looks when I go into the shop to buy nail polish.
Oh, that's right. They don't care. And Steve says, is it wrong on me to want 2 of those anti-AT kits to mess with and turn it into some sort of freighter, which is kind of my jam? Not really, no. Do what you like, but you don't need to buy the kits to do that. You scratch build them from next to nothing. I've seen your stuff. You don't need to buy the kits to make them. You can make them out of a used shoebox, and it will look just like the real thing.
If it's got 2 AT-AT kits, though, it could actually make a giant AT-AT spider.
Would it be an AT-AT-AT-AT?
Yeah. 80. I don't know. But
Spruglu says, night, it's time for a very cold shower. Good night, Spruglu. Enjoy your shower.
Good night.
See you later.
100 and some degrees, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting very warm in here again. I think we're going to have to turn all the lights out. So sometimes it's nice to cheat, says Steve. Yeah, well, yeah, I can understand that. But
no, I mean, if he gets 2 of the kits, seeing what he can do with, like, garbage. I mean, plastic cups and bottles and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Imagine what he could do with
a real thing.
2 Bandai kits and then start cutting up on those with the built-in greeblies, and that could make I'll look at it.
Absolutely. John Ho says, just give Chris the before and after pictures so he won't be confused about what parts are what. Yes, definitely. I need the before and after pictures, probably labelled as well, will be quite useful. So, yeah. Right. Actually, I'm gonna wrap up because it's getting very warm.
Yeah.
And we've done everything.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say I'm going to have to shoot off anyway. Get myself some supper and sorted.
Yeah.
No worries. Right. Thank you all for coming in and joining.
Thanks for having me.
More than welcome. Pleasure to have you here.
It has been a pleasure.
Welcome next time, and stick around and see you at some point. I'll just finish off really. So we're already Thursday today, isn't it? So nothing tomorrow night. I might do some Subnautica tomorrow night because playing the cold swimmy games are quite calming and makes you think you're wet and cool. But we'll see how it goes. I might do that tomorrow. Then we've got the weekend. Sunday is the Warhamster Day. So, stick around for 8 o'clock GMT, BST, not GMT, because you'll be an hour wrong. 8 o'clock for that, where I'll be using some of the new paints that I've just picked up. And maybe a tuft. You never know. It could happen. And then Monday, we're back to e-models. And then we're back to this, assuming that there's an alternative that works and we can figure it out. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks especially for you guys that are still here. Good night, all. See you next time.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
You know.